Hi, Michael DiCarlo with the Home Mortgage Relief Team. The Home Mortgage Relief Team has been successfully able to legally acquire homes for our clients that are in foreclosure. The foreclosure process is stopped, and in the end, the client gets their house free and clear. The way we do this is essentially a legal process. So in order to understand it, we actually have to understand what happened to us throughout this whole process. So I'm going to tell you a long story, and hopefully you'll follow. In 1998, the federal government deregulated the banking industry. And at that point in time, what happened was a company called MERS, Mortgage Electronic Systems, was able to record documents that you signed at closing for a deed and a note. So this mortgage electronic registration systems became the holder of the mortgage deed and the mortgage notes. And they were able to foreclose on people because whenever the judge would look at the documents and say, oh yeah, there's a signed note, there's a signed deed, therefore they can foreclose. What happened is the banks started to sell off the loans because once the deregulation took place, it allowed them to transfer loans to other banks and other companies. So many of the loans were transferred to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, who in turn took and separated the notes and the deeds and sent the deeds off to Wall Street to be securitized. What securitization means is that they take and they get all of their money for the loan up front from the stock market. Then in 1998, when this was starting to occur, these were pretty good investments because they were mortgage-backed, safe, and interest rates were on the decline, and the values of property was increasing about 3 to 5% per year. So if you were an investor, mortgage-backed security was a pretty good investment. So what happened is the deeds and the notes were separated. And when a note and a deed get separated, they can no longer be tied together or collected for together. So for example, if you have a deed over here and a note over here that were together but now they're separate, that note is unserviceable since it's no longer attached to the deed. So Home Mortgage Relief Team will help you go through the process of finding out that the bank is the bank that holds the note and the deed, or has yours been separated. So during this process, back in 1998, they were selling these loans, and by the year 2000, almost every loan was securitized on Wall Street, which means that pretty much most of the loans that have been foreclosed upon between 2000 and 2007 were securitized, and we have a good case against them, the banks, since the notes and the deeds are now separate. The issue, though, is that MERS still spits out the original note and the original deed and says, here they are, to the judge, and the judge looks at that and says, yeah, that's the original note and the original deed. So what we need to do is we need to be able to educate the judges to understand that the real note has been sold off and the real deed has been sold off, and those copies are just original copies. Let me put it in another way. Let's say I gave you a loan for $5,000 and you gave me a note. And I took that note and I sold it to 20 other people. And then I came back to you and collected the money. So do I have a right to collect the money when I sold it to 20 other people? No, I don't, because those 20 other people could each come to you with that portion of the note and say, you owe me. And so that's what happens. We can stop the process. We can go ahead and make sure that if your loan was securitized and if your loan, your deed and your note were separated, we can go ahead and sue the bank to make sure that your home becomes yours instead of the bank's. Thank you.